So I shared a story with my church a while back. My sister and I, a lot of people don't know I have a sister um, who I grew up with in my house. Actually, I have two sisters. One I grew up with and was around more times than not. But my sister and I, we're different in a lot of ways, but we have a great relationship. And one thing I noticed is my parents, it always brought joy to their heart when they see my sister and I getting along. It just you can just tell. There's nothing they said, but you can just tell they really like to see us getting along. And sometimes they would ask, "Hey, do you talk to your sister?" And I said, "Yeah, we talked, last week, or we talked this week, or we shot each other emails." And so I can tell it was important to them that their two children were getting along, even as adults. And I found out that God is the same way. Listen, I'm not saying it's easy, but Christians, we have our differences, but what will bring joy to God's heart is unity, is how we're getting along with one another. It brings so much joy to His heart when His children love each other, we put our differences aside, and we can fellowship with one another. What breaks His heart the most is when His children don't reflect the same. And so, again, I'm not saying it's easy, but as Christians, we have to find common ground. We have to allow the love of God that has been shed abroad in our heart to supersede all the things that can separate us. And I'll say this and wrap it up. Years ago, I was teaching at a church, a bunch of pastors and leaders, and the theme was unity. And one of the things I pointed out was that, the final prayer that Jesus prayed was that the church become one. And I would argue that that might be the only prayer that Jesus ever prayed that has yet come to pass. Um, that was the cry of his heart, that we get along, that we become one, and we can't just let race divide us. We can't let politics divide us. My God, we can't let denominationalism divide us. We have to become one. If we ever going to win the world for Jesus, got to work together. We need to develop that synergy and get along as brothers and sisters in Christ. Hey, this is Pastor Graham for your weekly motivation.